to
G'day, Del.
how's it going, man?
Very well.
Hang on, let's turn off this fucking shite in the background. Are you playing that?
No, I'm not playing that.
There we
I'm not
go.
playing anything.
Yes. And you're tuned to Outside Radio. How's it going, Rollo, me old mate?
Outside radio, yes. It's well, we are old mates, aren't we? We've known each other for 5 or 6 years now.
Well, it's at least 4 or 5 anyway, give or take
Yeah.
9, 7.
And you were just playing Roger Waters' new album, right?
I just decided to go for a bit of a, musical interlude.
Sure.
Yeah. So, man, it's
Well,
great.
we had Ab on fakeologist.com this morning with a guy from South Carolina. It's not from North Carolina. I was only joking. And an old mate typo error. So we had a great chat this morning about the London bridge attack or whatever. So did you want to talk about that, or did you want to just talk music, or what?
First of all, I'd like to say, well, no, we've knocked off the music, and we're also live on the Google Hangout as well as Outside Radio. But first of all, I'd like to say it's great to see you popping around, right? It's also
Thank you.
it's also great to see there's a bit of a chat that I'm looking forward to downloading and listening to tomorrow. A bit of Ab and yourself, you were saying about talking about the latest. You know me, man, with my opinion on all of this stuff. I've seen it so many times now. I don't even need to fucking look at the details of any of this crap. It's coming from the same people who are who brought us, the bullshit in the past. And the only thing that really annoys me to this day is that people around me fucking believe it, man. They're still
Sure.
the shit. You see, that's what
Yeah.
it is. So it boils down to the point that the likes of me or you or any people like our listeners who are listening to us, they're so-called awake. We're so-called awake, but yet at the same time, we're just looking at a fucking thing going on. A slow
Yeah, we're pissing in the wind, aren't we? We're pissing in the
whatever.
wind.
No, we're not pissing in the wind. No, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying
Mm.
from our perspective, we are looking at this fucking slow motion car crash. We know what they're pushing. It's like as if, fuck
Go for it.
sake, get on with it already. I see what you're doing, but you're doing it in such a slow and conniving way that is just, ridiculous. Now, for the untrained ear there, I wasn't talking to you, Rollo, but I was actually saying to the so-called people who create all this bullshit and serve it up in front of us, you know. So, are you still there, Rollo?
Yeah, you're a good man. You're a good man, Del. Yeah, I'm not allowed to smoke inside, so I was just outside listening to you prattle on. I thought you were going to go for a big diatribe there.
Am I talking to some guy who actually lives in a tree house, is his own fucking man, but he has to go outside?
My wife's got asthma, so she won't let me smoke inside.
Her indoors will do that. Yes.
Yeah, you're a good man, Del, and we haven't spoken in so long, but I was I was just thrilled that you gave me the invite to come in here, and I watched Pete Sheehan play guitar last night. He's got his own site. He's
P
talking to his mum and whatnot.
P
Pichet.
P man is a legend, as you know,
Yep.
and still the same as he was back when we knew him in Fakeologist days, right? And you swear I was talking as if Fakeologist was in the past, but it's just another thing, you know. No, not even another thing. That's a terrible way to put it. But uh, there's so many different paths. That's what it is. And you see, Pichet intersected yet again in the fakeologist end of things, whilst at the same time uh, bringing the fakeologist stuff to the flat earth, kind of like what I was doing over the past year or so as well. Uh, Meeting people, uh, yourself, man, and finding the fucking, like everywhere we seem to go, man, we find all the fucking agents and the provocateurs and the they're still out there with their voice changers and their machinations. Seriously.
You got it, mate. You got it. And John LeBon's been prolific actually on his output too. Have you been listening to any of his work? He had Negantropic on his show a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
Have you got any thoughts on that?
he neg on this show again, did he? Oh yeah, that's cool. No, I don't hear too much John LeBon. Only what when he pops up on Ab's audio chat and whatever, and the occasional time that he's on YouTube. But as you know, I know Neg as well. We go back years as well. In this whole roads and pathways through truth, and you invariably come across these different people. You know, so
Indeed,
Neg,
we do.
yeah, Neg posted a few bits and pieces on the bog, which are still there. But
Yeah, mate.
that's the story there. So
Yeah.
what do you?
He's a wily. He's wily. He's the same as John LeBon. They're in it. They're in it for the. I'm pretty sure they're in it for the right reasons. He, let me. Can we talk about flat Earth?
You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, Rolo. By the way, are you streaming, doing a radio Rolo on? Are we looking at two different uh, streams for the price of one?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Help me out.
Are you streaming through your radio Rolo at the moment? That's what.
Oh no, no, not that I'm. No.
Oh, that's a pity now because you could have got
Two,
two
oh
streams
yeah.
one.
I gotcha. I gotcha. I should play it through the Discord and do it at the same time.
I'm actually doing two. No, no, don't let me give you bad. Oh, work away, man. But I won't be around for too much longer because it's late over here. But
Sure.
at the moment, I'm actually doing two. At the one time, I'm streaming out through Outside Radio, and
Well,
also
can I give a cheerio to everyone who's listening to Outside Radio? And you're listening to Outside Radio with Delqua on what? How do I do a bumper for you?
on Outside Radio.
Yeah. Outside Radio with Delqua coming at ya on the FM dial.
It's funny, also, on Google Hangouts, there's about 4 or 5 long-suffering people just there hanging in, listening to this, and they're also listening out on Outside Radio. About 74 people the last time I checked. So we'll give out that shout out to everybody in Radio Land and in Google Hangout YouTube Land.
Yep.
Give it a Rollo special, man. I love
You
the.
betcha. I was listening. I was listening in too, and that's now. How new is our old mate from Pink Floyd? How new is that piece of work?
That's the thing, man. He only brought it out last week. It's not even
Wow.
it's not even a week out, and yeah. And what do you know? I felt really fucking old when I realized it's 25 years since bloody Amused to Death was out. And this one,
Right,
just listening to it now, I've literally only listened to it about 3 or 4 times.
yeah, he was talking about what Guantanamo Bay and all sorts of things like that. So that's interesting. It
Well,
sounded very Pink Floydy. It
Oh,
sounded very Pink
very,
Floydy, if that's a word.
very Pink Floydy because a lot of Floydonian people out there will listen to this. And though I've only about the fourth time I've listened to it properly, like uninterrupted. And when you get the time, man, But
Sure. What's your
oh,
favorite track? Which one?
no, I'm not even there yet at that one. I'm still just taking it in, sort of the whole overall essence of the album. It's just washing over me when I'm listening to it. And
Sure. Has
then,
he released one as a
oh,
single? Has he
these,
made a single?
he did release a couple of singles. Um, you're not going to get me to name them offhand because
Okay,
I
that's
just
fine.
can't get them out into my head. But the thing is, man, that album, right? There was another guy, Gub, in the chat in the Hangouts. He's obviously really into Floyd because he was pinpointing all the various similarities where they are.
Hmm.
It's very Animals. It's like the album Animals. He takes
Oh, that's one of my favorite. Sheep is one of my favorite songs. Sheep.
Sheep is good. I like Dogs as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sheep.
man.
Sorry, mate. Cut you off. Keep
No,
going.
if it was a couple of hours before now, I'd be plugging in and I'd play that for you. But that's the thing, Rolo. I want to arrange some time when we can sort of do an audio and maybe even simulcast it through, Radio Rolo. Uh,
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
we just do a couple of jamming tracks, and all of that.
absolutely. Well, I might have. I'll tell you what. It might. I don't know if I'm going out on a limb here, but I might have John LeBon in the treehouse in August for a week or so. So that might be fun. We
I,
could do it.
I heard you arranging that little date on one of the audio chats. That's
Yeah, yeah.
good.
Why not? The guy sounds cool to me. I mean, I'd have you here in a femtosecond or a nanosecond. Yeah,
There
for
you
sure.
go. That's
And Simon Shack might be doing a talk soon, so that looks like it might come to fruition. But it might all be in Swedish. So I don't speak Swedish. Do you?
no, I heard about that as well.
Yeah, Foilius is organising a meetup, and Shack's going to give a talk.
You just got to
But
deal with what's going on the ground, man, and not try to be the snooker players uh, positioning the balls in the sky. That sounded very Oliver Reedish, didn't it?
Oliver Reed.
Or no, the other dude.
But the bloody arsehole goes and dies during the middle of filming.
No,
It cost him $5 million.
that's him. I was thinking the other guy, the footballer. He says, "When there are seagulls on the boat." Remember that dude?
Oh, are you thinking of the drunk, the one that got eaten by the shark, Robert Shaw?
Did he? No, did he get eaten by a shark in the end?
He did.
I'm talking about the footballer who got in trouble for assaulting
Don't know.
somebody on the
Oh,
field.
did
And
he?
then he
Oh,
said,
yeah, I don't know about that stuff. No,
yeah, and then he said in the seagulls follow the boat or some fucking cryptic bullshit like that. And that was
really.
his statement. Well, it was on the mainstream media, so you can tell where that comes from.
Yeah,
It's all a Tavistock moment for
sure. I could look it up. A Premier League footballer or something was messing with underage children. Is that where you're going with that?
no, I'm not going anywhere near stuff like there's enough of that shit out there. Yeah, I see enough people going on about pushing all that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I think that's another psyop in itself as well. So keep people in memes and making people think that there's a lot worse shit going on than there really is, except the real shit that we have to deal with day to day. Right?
Yeah.
I think that
I
that's
mean,
that's
the real shit day to day is loving your family, loving your dog because you've got a dog, right? And and brewing your own beer and rolling your own cigarettes and chilling out and try and cheer up for Christ's sake and make the world a better place by your attitude when you meet other people who might be normies or sheeple. And yeah, fucking hell, make their day a better day. Don't try and tell them that 9/11 was a sham job because that just pisses people off.
Would I want to put them through 6 years of Alex Jones like I went through?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Wake people up to what, you know?
yeah, I know.
Uh, Wake them up to flat earth and send them into the direction of the circus? You see?
Hmm.
And then, who the fuck am I to sort of say that anyone I'm wakening up, that let them go through it. They have to make up their own bloody mind as well. How about
Yeah,
that one?
yeah, yeah. Wisdom can only be learnt, not taught.
Exactly. And the only way to fucking learn shit is to fall off your bike, get up, get back on the fucking thing. And you get to learn pretty quick the charlatans that are around, you know. Uh,
Well, I've certainly been called one of those, Dell, and I bet you have too. I mean, you go out on a limb, you're gonna uh, you're gonna get called all sorts of names, but
you're,
you seem to have
you're one of those
it's
disruptors. You're there to disrupt, aren't you?
me. Not really.
Joking, man. Do you remember
You're right. No, you can joke.
the
Man, it's water off a duck's back now. You can call me a fucking cunt or a whatever.
now
And look, I,
listen
or a feckin'. You always say feckin', not fucking. Feckin' cunt. Yeah.
listen here, you fucking cunt. I'm not calling you. You're bringing up that I'm not calling you a cunt, right?
You're right, man.
If you were a cunt, you'd be sitting on a gold mine. Oh my god! Now, now it's we're causing trouble.
Uh,
I know. In all seriousness, though, man,
you're right, man.
this is the kind of nonsense we get to see, and even the fact that we can joke about stuff like that, we've seen it going on. You know, Uh,
Hmm.
it's you know, it's another distraction, another little come down this laneway here. You know, young
Sure.
newbie in conspiracy land, and you'll be going around in circles.
Yeah. Conspiracy Landy Candy. That's what it is. That's we're my God, this Manchester thing, and it's just on and on. They just won't stop. But there's an election coming up in England. Some woman
That's
is
today.
looking to get re-elected.
Some woman, some man in a dress, another
EGI, EGI. Yeah, very good.
yeah, well, no, I'm not going full EGI, but I'm just saying, like, come on, call it a spade when it's fucking in a
What's her
dress.
name? Teresa something. Teresa something. I don't
Terry,
know.
Terry May, she's for May, and she may be another. Yeah, England has two queens at the moment. The usual, stodgy old queen from the, Queenie, and then
Yeah.
Terry May, the drag queen. So get out and vote tomorrow and keep, you know, England united under two queens.
That's fun. That's fun. I saw the Queen interviewing or talking to people in the Manchester psyop or whatever it was, and she's like asking the most r- idiotic questions to people that are supposedly have had like metal through their legs and whatnot in hospital. Did you have a good time at the concert? You know
You
what sort of fucking question is that? Is she out of her fucking mind?
should have had Billy Connolly there. I'm here to serve
Yeah,
you, Your
really. Yeah.
Majesty. Wire brush and dental is the treatment. You know,
I
It-
actually like that film that Billy Connolly was in when he played what is it, Someone and Mrs. Brown or something. Do you remember that, where he played the love interest of
Miss,
Queen Victoria, I think, or one of the queens.
no, I
Anyway,
was referring to one of his actual jokes in his stand up with wire brush and dental, where the Queen comes in to hospital, and there's a couple of soldiers in hospital, and the Queen goes, and what is your injury? And he goes, a bit of shrapnel, ma'am, but my treatment is wire brush and Dettol. And she goes, oh, good. And she goes to the next guy. He goes, what's wrong with you? A bit of venereal disease, ma'am, self-inflicted wound. And she goes, oh, what's your treatment? Wire brush and Dettol. And she goes to the last guy, and she goes, and what's wrong with you, son? And he goes, I was injured as well, fighting for Queen and country. And what's your ambitions for the future? To get the wire brush and Dettol before those other two dirty feckers get it.
What's
I
it?
know.
What's Russian dental? I don't know. You're gonna have to explain that. I mean, you're Irish, obviously.
Well, I'm Irish, but like this is an English thing. It's a worldwide thing. Dettol would be a disinfectant,
Oh yes, that's right.
okay? And a wire brush, as you know, is a wire brush. You know,
Yeah, yeah. So wire brush and dental. Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
pour some wire, pour some Dettol on it, and scrub with the wire brush. That's. But like, it would have
Mm.
sounded a lot better if it was in a Billy Connolly accent. But
Oh, Billy. Yeah, Billy Connolly's. My favorite gag of his was, I think the guy that went to the wrong end on a football game, and that was shitting in their shoes and pissing in the bovril.
well,
I don't know if you remember that gag.
I remember Billy Connolly. He was saying he was talking about telling a joke. Some guy came up and actually took a swing at him, and he said, unlike what's that famous English footballer? He's a commentator as well. Jimmy Hill, right? Jimmy.
Right.
He's got a pointy. He's got a pointy chin, and his beard just covers his chin, right?
Okay.
And Billy Connolly said, unlike your man took a swing at Billy Connolly, and he basically took a swing at the beard, and it just he said, unlike Jimmy Hill, mine bends. So he thought he was taking a swing at Billy Connolly, and instead he just hit his beard, and his fist went
I
flying.
gotcha.
Yeah, that's what happened. So that was one of the funny things,
Sure.
or one of the funny things I remember of the Billy Connolly trip.
Are you still brewing your own beer and
I am
just
indeed.
living the easy life? Yeah.
Well, when you brew beer, right? But I also have mead on the go, and you
Mead.
know
Yeah.
various. I've been making some different types of wine in you know uh, gallon demijohns. 4.5 liter, about six
Sure.
or 5.5 bottles after all the
Yeah.
bullshit. I
I need to get a couple of bottles of Delcourt 2017.
I am.
Oh yeah, I reckon that'll yum.
Yeah, we'll have to say the customs and excise trip on that one.
But you're not making it out of potato peelings and urine like you
I
have to in prison.
know. I'm actually getting some labels printed up for the next one. It's going to be a Delqua 911 brew.
Oh yes, I'd had that on my shelf for years to let that. I'd cracked that open once. The 911 sham job was
Hey,
exposed to the world, but then I reckon there might be revolution then if
that's the thing.
everybody knew.
I'm going to put about a teaspoonful of sugar into each one bottle of that before I cork it up, and then
Yep.
it'll be like champagne. Well,
Yeah.
that- and I'm going to put on the label as well, um, shaken not stirred, 2 towers rumble, and see what happens, man. You know.
Mm,
But it'll just be another way of like telling people as if, do you know what I mean, man? Um, when we came to the internet first, there was already people there gatekeeping for 9/11. You
Hmm.
know, they're deflecting. You know, there's no way if they had their way, you'd ever see September clues. That's how fucking deflect. Well, fast forward to 2017, man, and this so-called flat Earth movement or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the same thing.
Hmm.
It's full of actors, agents, and people that are deflecting from 9/11 truth. Uh, the, the whole fucking thing. You just have to. You probably witnessed some of it yourself. I've
Sure.
been watching it from. I've met a lot of people out of this so-called movement, and that's what it is. It's sort of. It's shown itself to be just like the people that we came across 10 years ago on the internet. There's
Mm.
still people there stopping people from finding out. And you know, it's so ironic. You got flat earthers laughing at people because they think that there was media fakery in 9/11 and no one died. You know, that's
Yeah.
how fucked up it.
Well, they need to. Well, if they want to know, again, remember when we started just
The
chatting
roll.
about half an hour ago? Do
Yeah.
we want to wake those people up or not? Are they listening to outside radio for the truth, or do they just want to feel good?
Well, Rollo, that's the only reason I'm still hanging around here. There is a lot of genuine nice people. I came across them over this
Yeah.
journey, and they're there. And then there's this other nefarious fucking group. They know who they are, and they're all over the place. And they're
Yeah, they're called journalists. They're called journalists or newspaper editors and scumbags like that. And
oh yeah,
they've got to wake up and just eventually the truth will always come out. I did like what Negentropic said the other day. He quoted Arthur Conan Doyle. Once you eliminate the impossible or whatever it is, whatever's left is the
all
truth.
there is left, no matter how improbable, is the truth. That
Yeah.
it's a meme. There's the memes are fucking
Yeah,
thing.
but Arthur Conan Doyle wrote the best stories ever written. If you've ever read Sherlock Holmes, oh my god! If
Man,
I know it's almost childish stuff,
I
but
read.
it's still enjoyable. It's so enjoyable,
Yes, man.
yeah,
We
to read.
we love it, and we love the movies as well that came from them. But what I'm going to say to you,
Go for it.
what or who or how many people were Sherlock Holmes? Because it's too much fucking shit for one man. Now, there you go. They burst another bubble on the journey. I'm sorry, Rollo. But
What are you saying that you don't think Arthur Conan Doyle wrote all those on his own or
no,
all the stories?
it's like everything else, man. I think these people are. Do you think what's her face wrote all those bloody uh, oh, what's his name? How come I can't remember that? The the fucking magician dude. Uh, that whole oh come on, Rolla, help me, man.
Magician dude, David Copperfield,
No, no, I'm saying, do you think that one woman could write all those novels about this?
Pride and Prejudice.
No, magic. Uh, what's his name?
Oh, J.K. Rowling. The
J.K.
you're
Rowling.
talking about the Harry Potter series.
Harry Potter. There's another example. You see, that turns into a Hollywood thing, and everybody knows Harry Potter all of a sudden. But like,
Sure.
then we're told the backstory about J.K. Rowling, and
Yeah.
that's fucked up, man. All of these things are really are. I'm
She
sorry.
was supposed to be a woman living in a council estate, a single mother or something, and she
Yeah,
comes out with that. Yeah,
they
I
just
got to agree with you there.
yeah
That
comes.
sounds a bit dodgy. Yeah.
Well, it's just the same. Look, I've been looking at uh, Jeff Rent's radio for the past 20 odd years. Fucking, uh, we've had Red Ice, we've had all of these different things. 2012 came and went. It was all this scary stuff. Then we had uh, fucking uh, the precursor, I would say, to fakeology, and I think they were trying to put um, woo woo onto that, and that's Dallas Goldbug. You know,
Oh yes,
I
yeah.
came across him. You know, as we were coming through this thing, I literally came across him. Like I was around before him. Put it that way.
I want an interview with that guy. I
This
want to interview him. I'd rip him a new one.
I was
Is Julia Gillard, Jodie Foster? I
no,
mean, come on. And
I was just
sensible people. Sorry, Del. Sensible people like Frank the Salt Guy. We kind of like at fakeologist.com is still going on with Julia Gillard is Jodie Foster and you know different people are different people. Apart from that, uh, most of I don't read Dallas Goldbug. Do you read a lot of his stuff, Del?
well. That's what I was trying to say, Rolo. Right
Okay, go for it. Yep.
before. It, I'm talking about when this guy appeared out of nowhere, fucking all those years back. Because that's what I was saying. I was around, and then this guy appeared as well. So this was a new fucking concept, right? Just arrived on the scene, and that was he was pointing out Columbine and all that at the time, and then it started going woo woo as his thing sort of expanded, and it just got really silly then, you know, and that's what I'm saying about that whole Dallas Goldbug thing, and now it's even knocked out of my head in the context of what I was trying to say about it. Um, yeah, it's kind of done a sort of a 360, and that kind of stuff is in, you know, in and all around us, in the sense of all this other stuff like the Mandela effect, for example, that could be traced back to a particular point in time, like, you know, 2 years ago, to one person's website. But people don't fucking want to know that. They just want to go with all the fluff that's involved with that.
Hmm.
And also it's all heavily dependent on Hollywood movies because or books. They're just uh, throwing reinforcing nonsense back and forth at each other. And that's not even before I get the flat earth man, you know? So
Hmm.
there there's so much
Well, Simon Shack's going to be coming out with his cosmology, what he thinks the world is, and that'll be interesting to hear.
you know, well, fair play to him.
And
It's what he
yeah,
thinks is, and nice one, you know. But uh,
we've
oh
got a guy, a Frenchman, Unreal. He thinks it's flat, but he's an architect, so he always deals with plumb bobs and the world, water being flat and whatnot. Ab's got a P900 Nikon camera, so he can see across the lake from Ontario to wherever, and yeah.
official
So
sponsor of the flat Earth, the P900.
yeah, it does seem to be that way, doesn't it?
For all you elitist flat earthers who can afford it. Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
All you need to do is go to a second-hand shop and buy a telescope. It's just as good.
There's people out there with more money than sense, you know. There's people out there who just zoom in and don't know anything about focus, and they're making everything look stupid. They're going, "Oh, look at Venus. It really looks like this. It's like a 50 pence piece with a hole in the middle of it." Um, no, not really, but that's giving great fodder to all the Globers who are laughing their arses off and saying,
Mhm.
"Oh, you got to tune in your fucking P900."
Who was that astronomer,
Oh,
Patrick someone,
shit.
English guy? He
Patrick
had a bit of a
Moore.
sense of humor.
Patrick
Patrick Moore, that's right.
He the one eye as well, the old wink. He had the old
Yeah, he did.
he had the Silverstein pull it wink every time he fucking talked. You know,
Yeah. The
like we
Frank
yeah.
Lowy wink.
Yes, I am so much more knowledgeable in this wink than you plebs are. So I will just look into my
No,
telescope.
don't call us plebs. Just
And
call us proles. Proles.
no, I'm being fecking what's his name, Patrick Moore now. So
Oh
everyone's
yes, go.
pleb. So
I thought we were proletariats, but no, no, we're plebeians or whatever we are.
plebeians, yeah, you people. Voting. Do you think if voting was actually made any difference, it wouldn't be, allowed? So
Exactly. That's the
tomorrow,
gag, isn't it?
tomorrow you have a choice between a bloke in a dress or or God knows what. I don't know.
I don't know. How many different do you follow English politics? There are three.
I
There are three
yeah,
parties, or what?
man. I used to look at all that shit years ago and thought I
Uh,
was informed. But yeah, just for the listeners, there's the Conservatives, there's Labour, and then there's the alt right is
Farage
yeah,
has got one.
the alt right trip.
Yeah, they're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
right wing.
So you know,
All on the same side. All on the same side. All card carrying scumbags.
I told politicians to their face on numerous occasions. I said, you guys, you're like the bird. There's one wing and then there's the other wing, but you're
Yeah,
both flying in the same direction, and you're all fucking taking us all into the shit.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
just,
Coke, Pepsi, Cornettos, drumsticks.
your man,
There are so many examples of duopolies, and that's, I
yeah,
mean, politics is just a duopoly, pretty much, right and left.
it's
There's
just,
right and wrong, though, Dell. There's right and wrong, and
we know about right
politics.
and wrong, right? But what
Yeah.
we're getting off these guys, and these are the guys who, not only got to control everything, but to print the money to psy up everybody with their fucking ever increasing technology of movie making, street theater. There's your fucking, your
But
Manchester.
the funny thing, Dell, is that they don't print the money. The money is printed by the Federal Reserve
Oh no,
or the Reserve
no,
Bank. It's not
no, no,
even
no. Hang
government.
We all know
Go
that.
for it.
We're all told that shit, right? We all know that. But that's just yet another layer of the onion in the narrative, right?
Uh huh.
It doesn't
Okay.
really come into it. If you want to look at money, yeah, money is just sort of like the lubrication that keeps all the other, like the small time actors in the street theaters, the ones that, pretend that they're blown up, or the ones that, that
Oh, the crisis actors. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but you see, even crisis actor, that's been sullied by the likes of some of these fucking channels that just point out crisis actors, and really be detrimental to the whole concept of what's going on. You know,
Hmm.
they should be addressed too. But like, a lot of them are just fucking falling off since the Transasian thing. A lot of that is just fucking gone off into the. You've just got people, cresting the wave of the flat Earth, and trying to make money at every fucking step as well. There's a lot of them out there. I've seen.
Well, prostitution. I mean,
At
the
least
whole.
dude is giving you something, like a gold mine concept. You can't, sort of compare what's going on monetizing truth with prostitution. Put it that way. I think the prostitute
Okay.
is more honest than the fucking so-called monetizer of truth. But that's just
Yeah.
another.
Well, Dell, everything you give out, you give out for free, right? You don't have to pay for. Now, I don't want to have this
I do pay.
me having a go at anyone, but if they're trying to make a living off this, of
What do
truth,
I say?
why not?
I give out shit for free. and I don't pay for it. Is that what you said?
No,
Um,
no. What I'm saying is, to me, you seem the view from the bog and outside radio. You don't
free.
have to sign up and pay for it.
That's Google, right? The view from the bog. Anyone can get a Google. It's dot bloody blogspot, right? That's a Google. That's free, right?
Hmm.
All the audio file hosting that I do through Keep, that's not free, right? But
You have to pay for that. Yeah.
at the same time, that's just Dell's hobby into the internet uh, over the past 5 or 6 years, right?
Hmm.
I can see how all these people who are letting on as if it's costing an alarm that you're running a 5,000 watt AM radio station and you need, hundreds of dollars and donations for your electricity bill, right? This is, they play on people's ignorance of the bloody internet, right? And I was ignorant enough of the internet, but I was able to.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Sorry, mate. You keep going.
You're going. I'm back off as well now, but I will tell you about, you know anyone on the internet can make their own radio station, right? You just go to Shoutcast, sign up, and that's it. You just fucking do it. But that's you know neither here nor there. Uh, File hosting. If you want to upload stuff and share it with other people, like what I have on the blog, that can be all done. You can do it for free up to a certain amount, but the amount of volume of fucking uh, MP3s that I post up there, I just basically signed up and pays subscription to them so that they serve my fucking or host my MP3s on their server. And
Okay.
right,
I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, sorry. My wife knew I was smoking in the house, and she's now going to rip me a new one. I'm only joking. Keep going. So, you're talking about
Chrissy,
the
don't rip him a new one yet. I was just saying that uh,
all right.
if anybody,
Keep going about the pay.
uh, if you want to have a boring hobby of trying to spread truth and audios and sharing stuff like me for the past few years, it literally only costs you know less than fucking you can't you wouldn't even have to you know break it down to monthly, but if you did, it'd be about €6 a month for my hosting on the radio, right? Or
Right.
hosting on Kiwi,
Yep.
right? And it's €70, about 60 something euros. And then they brought in this VAT bullshit on European end of it, but it's still
Value
about
added tax. Yeah.
say 65 euros say per year to host my auto DJ, right? We're talking at the moment on outside radio because we're live. But when I stop broadcasting, I flick over onto this auto DJ thing, which just plays um, MP3s that I've already uploaded to it, right? I've, figured out how to do that, blah, blah, blah. And that's like my hobby. And like once I can keep doing that, I'm quite happy. But like
Sure.
to turn around and go, oh, I need someone to pay my internet connection because I'm giving this stuff out. No, I'm not going on about it tipping and whatever the way Abba's doing it on. I'm talking about different stuff, man. I'm talking about people that are on the YouTube platform. They just come out of nowhere and they're having like fundraisers. Fundraisers for what? Well,
Yeah.
so you can sit on a hangout all day and not do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Fucking
you were playing uh, Roger Waters' lovely new album. I'm can't wait to listen to it. The second I get off the air with you is the second I'll be
You're gonna download it and listen
I'm
to
going to download it. Well, oh, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it.
that.
People who produce content, look, I don't steal stuff that I like. You know what I mean? Even software or whatever. I mean, if I'm going to use some software, I believe in paying for it.
Can they roll out as well, just for the record, that I am actually have his vinyl on order. That's if
Oh, you're
they,
going to get it on vinyl, yeah? Oh man, I look
yeah.
forward to you playing that on vinyl with
I
scratches and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I have that on order now, and hopefully the feckers can get it for me. But I'm also just going to physically buy the CD as well, so I can just, you know, I
Oh, well,
have the
maybe you get him to autograph it or something, or if that's what you're into. I'm not huge into autographs or anything like that, but
I'm not into that. I'm just into, like, I'm old school. I've got all LPs. You know, I used to buy records as I was growing up. That's the medium for me. And then,
sure.
cassettes.
Oh,
You know,
does anyone remember cassettes? Only me and you would remember those.
for feck's sake. The one demo that I ever did is on the master of it is on a bloody cassette. I know about cassettes.
Have you got it digitized? Have you digitized it?
Oh,
Made it?
do you know something, man? I haven't done that yet, and
You better do it.
I keep threatening I must, put it, literally just play it into the computer and record it on a
Yeah. All
massive.
my early radio stuff's on cassette. Yeah, the stuff that I did when
Have,
I used to be a radio guy. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're talking 1986, 87 here when I was young and I had no idea about the world, but yeah,
I'm talking 1985 for that particular.
sure.
I did, and I did tell.
Remember reel to reel? Like
Yeah,
every time you turn the mic on, the reel to reel would start and make sure and record it. So in case you said something wrong.
bro, that was the weird and spooky thing about that story. Remember, I told you at the time that that uh, the tape that I did record that demo on was recorded on November, right?
Yeah, keep going.
Sorry, September 11th. It was
Oh,
9/11.
2001.
No, 1980 fucking 4.
1984 on 9/11.
Hmm.
1984. Man, I can only tell you a few things about 1984 that come to mind. Australia adopted a coin for a dollar bill. They changed the dollar bill to a coin that year. That's the only thing I remember about 1984.
Well,
Why is that?
I don't know. That was the
Kind
year.
of in the kind of in that exciting a year, but yeah.
Um, it,
1984. You're a little bit older than I am, aren't you?
it
I
was
don't want to ask your age on air, but
Well, that would have been the year that my first son would have been conceived because he was born in 1985.
well, so 1984 was a good year for you.
So
Good luck.
I was busy at that time. Oh man,
Yeah, yeah.
see how time flies, though. Really, you know, like
I guess so. Yeah,
gone from we were talking about, me first young lad being conceived, being born,
yeah.
85, and now we're 2017.
So how old's he now? 84, 94, 2004, 2014. So he's 30,
Yeah,
33 years old.
he's 33. There we go, the magic number.
Oh, yes, that's right. The boobs, two sets of boobs on
Yeah.
sideways.
Well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's one of those mysticism and magic numbers. The number 11's the biggest number for me, but
well,
obviously because of 9/11.
between himself and my daughter then, and my younger son, and my granddaughter, they know my take on things. They've
Sure,
seen my transition from Alex Jones to everything else. You know what I mean?
sure. Yeah.
To
Well, you
realize,
haven't done it in a cranky way. I don't remember ever talking to you, and the crankiest you probably would have got is you wouldn't let me let you finish a point of view or something, and I'd knock a thought out of your head, and that used to annoy you no end.
well, you wouldn't
You
be
know
the
what
only one, but sure, I'm used to it now, man. I've mellowed, and it doesn't
I mean?
matter anyway. We've never fallen out, you know. I
Never.
I remember you going on about me. Oh, that drunken Irish guy who's giving out about Jews all the time. And then, about 3 or 4 months later, I hear you on an audio giving out about the Jews. And I'm saying, what the
That's so funny, isn't it? Didn't I get in trouble once? When is it Wanda? I think it was Wanda or something, and I said some flippant comment, and oh my god, ah,
No, I'll have nothing said bad against Wanda. Wanda is
I'm not saying anything bad against it, but I
a lady.
anyway, something happened. I said something, and do you know who came and saved the day? It was Tom Dalpra. Tom Dalpra came and calmed and smoothed everything over, and everything was cool.
Rollo, I'm looking forward to having a chat with Tom. Um, I haven't fucking talked to him in a long time. Do you know that I have one
Nice.
of his fucking records? I can't wait.
Oh, really? When he was back in his band or whatever it was, Nutmeg, wasn't it?
I've got one of the singles, man, 12-inch single,
Yeah.
and yeah, I
Apparently, he ran a 10,000 or 20,000 concert or something the other day. He was doing something like that.
in London.
So
He London trip.
yeah, so good on him.
Yeah, fair play to him, and he put a nice perimeter around to stop all the street theater.
Yeah, yeah,
That was brilliant, you know. I know.
yeah,
Fair play to Tom. I good time for Tom. But I've yet to tell him that I've got one of the records, and I'm going to have to make a video of just putting it on the turntable and playing it.
sure.
There
Oh,
you go.
that'd be lovely. If you could do that on Discord or something, or come and join us on Discord,
Yeah,
I'm sure Tom would really appreciate that. And yeah, why not?
I'll just video it anyway and just upload on the channel and just play it. Then go into Ab and just play. Put the link in
Yeah,
Discord, and we can all have a look at it. Then just
yeah. Can you play a tune? Because I got to go to the bathroom and refill my cup
I
and
gotta
have a
go.
cigarette.
I gotta go as well. I'll go to Jack's, but as you know, we are on outside radio, and I can play a tune, man, no problem. So you feck off. I'll be back in.
I'll feck off right now. Thank you.
You
I'll
feck.
be back.
You'll be back. I'll be Beethoven, and I'll play a tune while we're away. And I'm gonna mute it on Google Hangouts because they're bastards. So anyone on Google Hangouts, I hope you have a window open for outside radio.
So, Dell, are you playing a tune? No, he's gone.
Hey there, Rolla.
Dell, are you playing a tune?
Yeah, I'm still playing this tune, man.
All right, man.
We're only going out live.
I was just going to go and listen to what you were playing. What were you playing?
Uh,
I'll back announce if you want, or no, you back announce.
I just muted it. I only muted it for us here in the hangout, but it's still going out live. Here's the music.
Can I still talk to you and not busting it up?
You can talk to me. Yeah, it's still going
Yeah,
out
sure.
on the radio until I turn on the microphone.
Yeah, no worries. What are we listening to here, man?
It's an old Roger Waters one.
Oh, it's an old Roger Waters. Okay.
Hang,
Yeah.
I'll turn it off now, and we'll be live.
You back announce, and we can come
We're
back and talk.
live on Hangout anyway, so I just say you're tuned to Outside Radio, and we're live on the air right now with Rolo. There you go, man. You're back from the Jacks. I'm back from the Jacks.
Exactly. I'm Rolo from Fakeologist Radio and fakeologist.com.
Ecologist.com.
.com. That's
.com.
right.
That's it.
And
Ding.
anyone who listens to Outside Radio and wants to talk and wants to discuss, just join the Discord, and it's easy to do. And Ab, once he verifies you, you can chat with me, Ab, and all the other crew, Tom Dalpera, John LeBon. I don't want to single anyone out particularly, but yeah, and you have a good time.
You just singled out fucking two people, so you might as well keep singling out.
Frank the Salt guy. Yeah, I don't want to because I'll miss a name and they'll get all pissed off.
I'll try to remember the latest ones. Jerry Can Man, right?
Jerry Can Man. Yeah.
Still
Yep.
look forward to chatting to that dude.
Oh, he's a great guy. Unfortunately, his mother's being messed up in the medical system at the moment, but he seems like a great guy to me. Keep
yeah.
going.
Zalion has always been there.
Yep.
He's a CGI expert, as you know.
Sure.
Yeah, Frank announced us all today. Let back in by Ab, but
Evil Edna, I don't know about him. I don't.
even Edna Opticon, he's busy playing another character on YouTube. At the moment. Piche has him nailed down. I'm 95%. I'm actually gone up to about 98% now at this stage. That other guy's the same because I've noticed an element of these agents who go into, say, a new hangout, say a Virgin hangout, right? Like this Jamie guy's hangout. And before you know it, they're there every night, and it's like it's been happily taken over. And then the chat as well gets certain people get spanners, and they seem to be the same fucking people everywhere you
Mhm.
go, everywhere you see. So there's definitely a control mechanism in and among even YouTube channels, man. So
Sure.
we're looking at that as well, just as a phenomena, but it's fucking, it's there. You know,
Oh,
I
good.
don't know. We've been looking at this for how long now, man? Two
Well,
years.
as far as I'm aware, me and you have been chatting. I remember the first time I chatted with you.
Yeah,
We were with a guy called. He had a sort of a skeleton as a sort of
oh, that
a
Bones,
icon.
the Bones dude from he was
Yeah,
Canadian. He was a Canadian, McCracken or some Bones.
yeah, McCracken. That's it, McCracken. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh man.
Well remembered. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the very first time I ever spoke to you, and
I
you
know.
didn't know what to make of me. But we've become friends. I like to say friends because I sent you even in the mail. I know your first name. I won't say it on air, but
Back and
I
better.
sent you those beer cooler things.
Yeah. Why don't you dox me live on air on my own radio
Joseph.
as well on as what do you call? Listen, I've got something for you as well, and I'm not holding out on you either, man.
You're right, man.
That is for no messing,
You don't mind me saying your first name?
and it's well, it doesn't matter now whether I mind it or not. Just
Joseph. It's a kind of
every
wasn't it Mary's? That was Mary's father's name, wasn't it?
everybody knows me as Joe, man. Anyway, so
Yeah. No, you're a cool guy.
do your best, man. Uh, I'm not Tim, but we know who Tim is.
Oh,
Um,
Tim from well, we know his full name now, and
I'm not Roland, but I know who Roland.
that's my real name. Yeah, you know it.
I'm not Thomas, but I've got a brother called Thomas, and I call him Tom. He's not
Yeah.
adulterate, though. Do you
Is
know
Tommy Dalper his real name, or is
even
that a
my,
pseudonym?
even my younger brother, the youngest one, used to call me Dodo.
Dodo. Oh, right. It's in the bird that.
Ah, you see how things manifest and
Yeah.
flicker around, and yeah.
Do you think that's a fake story? These birds on an island were just killed. Every single one of them. They were too friendly, weren't they?
Weren't we all told that in school, just like everything else, like the ball earth and all that? We were also
Sure.
told uh, dodos were so stupid they walked up to the hunters and looked into the barrel of the gun before they got shot. And
Exactly.
I even remember at the time they were even portrayed more like Big Bird, like one of them coming up. But now all of a sudden it's a bird that is in the shape of the 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 so-called globe stroke flat earth model that they're giving us, which, when I say that, you know what I mean? The
Mm.
flat squashed ball as opposed to the ball, you know?
Uh,
And
Maybe dodos weren't frightened of death. I don't know. I mean, are you frightened of death? The only thing that frightens me about death is others going before me, others that I love
life,
going before me.
no, yeah, life is more frightening, man. You're surrounded by all these people who believe all the crap that they see on the TV, and that's scary. But yeah, to be honest, you could be selfish and say, I'd rather go before everybody else.
That is selfish, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
It is a selfish concept. Um,
Hmm.
the best way to go is to keep fucking going, keep on going no matter what, and you'll find that everything that you're trying to keep going will keep going. You
Sure.
know,
Yeah, that
and
was good. That was good what you said there. Yeah, that was very selfish of me, but that's the sort of.
oh, I wasn't
I
trying to.
guess I'm a selfish guy. I am, and I get all sorts of things said about me, but I do. I do care about the human race, not a particular race. I have not too much fondness for the Irish. I think they're a bunch of cunts, but no, only joking. No, hell, look, I'm descended from Michael Collins, as you know. He's one of
Uh,
my relatives.
Man, yeah, you still got an Australian accent, and I know your pedigree. And oh fuck's sake, man, we're not going to have an argument over ranking now.
Is this the right room for an argument? We should play that sketch.
Have
Monty
you got,
Python.
have you got £5?
I've got 10 pounds.
Well, then you can have abuse.
Abuse. All right, give it to me. What's the best you got? Come on.
No, that was just
No, no, no. Abuse me. Abuse me. Come on.
you're
Do
in the
you do your worst. Do your worst.
you're in the wrong place, Rollo. If you're looking for abuse, this is not
I'm only kidding. I'm only
this
kidding.
is not a Burmese railway station.
If I'd only knew those the Monty Python crew back in the day, I would love to have been one of them. Making up gags and off the wall comedy.
Uh, or to be Rick Mail. No, there's a fucking
Oh
concept.
yeah, he tragically died young. Poor Rick,
Did
but
he go?
he lived a full life, I would imagine.
No, I think he was well rewarded for his culture.
Oh, DCP. Is
He's
he?
probably sitting watching reruns of Dirty Cat Flap right now.
Oh, I remember that show. That was awful. I like the young ones.
They were all
I did.
fucking brilliant. I
Filthy Rich and Cat Flap. That's right. Yeah, I remember it.
they were telling us a message in that one, man. That's pretty
Oh
cool.
man. Do you
And
know one of the funniest things that Adrian Edmondson said once? It's Edmondson, you cunt. CONT, not CUNT, not Edmondson.
yeah,
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I bet he'd be hard work to be around, but anyone who gets up on stage or gets on television and tries to do comedy, you got to be full on. And Rick Mail was full on, wasn't he? You remember him in Blackadder as Lord Flashheart and
uh,
uh, Rick in obviously in the young ones.
yes. And
Yeah,
you ever hear of a place called the Chili Factory? And what you do is you get a friend from Australia to send you a thing called a koozie, and you never heard of a koozie before, and you Google it, and it's just a wraparound for a beer,
that's the one.
and it's got fucking Velcro. Apparently, NASA invented Velcro. You know, um,
what it was? It was what the shit that sticks to sheep's fleece or something.
man, listen.
It's just a
Tef-
natural thing.
they say that Teflon is non-stick, and yet they put it on frying pans and sell it to you. So either it's non-stick or it's not non-stick. How do they get it to stick to the frying pan?
Good point. How do they get it to stick to the frying pan? It's just too logic. You're just too logical for me. You should be having a chat with John LeBon right now.
Man,
That's a good one though.
no, I don't have. I can't afford that.
Oh yeah, because
Sorry,
he's got a bit of a paywall.
I'm sorry, John.
What was his name? The guy that used to try the paywall thing. He's
Don't,
not around so much these days. Alan,
don't forget poor old Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen. That's him. Yeah.
Yes, Marcus Allen. I look at I I do have to get in sometime into the uh, fakeologist chat, right?
Sure.
Do it as a proper fakeologist chat because this is just outside radio, sort of. This is like raw bullshit from Google Hangouts. But
Uh-huh.
I do want to go in there sometime and actually talk about that whole concept, of the Marcus Allen and all that, because man, no one else. I saw somebody making a joke about it in the chat, right? In the Discord thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying to myself, that's the first time I saw it because I remember sending Abba a message in Discord saying, "Am I the only one who thinks that this fucking I forget what her name is, and I say her in quotation marks on Chris Kendall. Uh, do you know who I'm talking about,
Oh
Rob?
yeah. Yeah. It's a
The,
girl's name and a guy's name, and we can't sort of discern whether it's
no, you're
a
not.
girl's well because
Yeah,
I can hear your voice.
Lynn,
Yeah.
right? Lynn.
Lynn. That's it.
First time I fucking heard Lynn, I said, "That's Marcus Allen acting the bollocks." Is this part of the jokes that they're doing with Do you know the way they have ads at the moment, and they're taking the piss out of, you have the fucking J Dyer popcorn, and you can order your own ad, and it's only a joke, and blah blah blah. That this I was thinking that they were. I was waiting for the punchline. I was actually waiting for Marcus to go. Yeah, it's only me, but no, it keeps going on, and so I said nothing. And then I sent a message to Ab. I said, "Man, am I the only one who fucking thinks that this guy is Marcus Allen?" And Ab like says, "Go in and talk about it." But I didn't, But
Yeah.
I noticed then last week or the week for someone else said it as well. So it's like, so it's not just me who's thinking it. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, I'd like to go in. But that's just one thing, right? That's just one thing. There's
Mm.
other things going on as well. And no, I'm not going to go. It's too
No,
late.
no, you're right. Look, I'll tell
Look,
you this.
o'clock in the morning
The
now.
day that I heard you talking to Ab again,
I
it was probably about a month or two back when Ab came into one of your hangouts.
came onto the pub.
That was a cracking hangout because Pete
I,
was in there as well. Yeah,
Yeah, I was fucking delighted that Ab came in. He was dropping in now. He was trying to connect or whatever. But I was
sure.
so fucking delighted when he appeared. And I know he was a bit annoyed with the background pub noise, but um, I kind of
Well,
was.
it's Dell's Pub Lock-In.
I
This is what
know.
this is called. What number is this one now? This is Dell's Pub Lock-In. What number?
No, this is just.
33.
I don't know what the number is, man. But
All right.
literally, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's outside radio, Adele Improv on the back of.
Oh, okay. This won't be a pub lock-in.
Well, not really, because I was playing. You see, I was playing
Roger Waters. Yeah.
the Roger Waters thing without putting it on YouTube because that would automatically shut it down. It's like what happened to Pichet's last hangout. Some great information. Now I got 2 hours of it because I broadcasted it, so I had that 2 hours and I posted it on the blog. But the stuff before that on his hangout is gone because some
Oh, because
fucking
he played copyright stuff, or what?
copyright claim because we were picking and analyzing fair use. You know what I mean? Fair fucking.
Sure. Yeah. So
And
what? How much did he play of what copyright material? Just like 5 seconds or something, and then
Foo Fighters video. And by the way, I thought at the time as well. I dug it out of my hard drive and played the same video, and it did have the same thing in it. But then I realized, oh, that's the fucking computer. I downloaded that from Vivo as well on YouTube.
yeah,
I have to go and look at the one that I recorded on the TV about 20 years ago, or whatever, 15 years
sure.
ago, whenever That
And you
because
still got busted.
I still have those discs, and I'll just go through them.
Yeah.
I'll have to go through them. But
Yeah.
that's an aside. That's actually a note to myself now. I have to remember to do that, man.
Write it down now. Oh no,
Yeah,
you got this recorded, so this will be a note for you. When I use one of
this is going out
Madonna's,
live.
a little piece of Madonna's tunes, and Warner Brothers got up my ass about it.
Mm-hmm.
I only used about a fucking minute of it, and Warner Brothers was into me for using a bit of Madonna music.
Now
God damn it!
I know it is fucking terrible because you can see down around on the right hand side of your column on YouTube, people putting up full albums, people putting up full movies, right?
Yeah.
And they're
So
obviously
why are we getting fucked in the
well,
ass? Yeah, right.
exactly,
Yeah,
Rolo. We have to remember, and this is why I don't get annoyed about this shit. For starters, they build it, we come and we get it for free, basically. Well, apart from our internet connection, and
sure.
then their terms and conditions, we tick boxes and shit, and then we start freaking out when they start being dicks because we tick a box that allows them to be dicks. Really,
Yeah, good point.
that's the bottom line. And
Yeah,
I think the likes of my outside radio, well, at least that's a contract. It's not a freebie. It's a contract. And although it's only like, five or a month or whatever, it's still a fucking contract. And they have to uphold to that. Right. And I've never, ever
and you're free to say whatever you like.
in,
You're
right.
free to say
Yeah.
or play whatever you like. Play whatever you
2013.
like.
Yeah. 2013, man. Or just before. But like, say, 4 years so
Yeah,
far. I've been able to say what I like, simulcast stuff with fakeologists as well, do my own improvs, and you've heard some of them, man. They're
sure.
and it's all
Classics.
during my journey of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You
And
want
it's
people to come here and feel comfortable and to say whatever the hell they want. If they want to, you'll cut them off. I'm sure if I started acting like a fucking retard or something, and
no, I don't even like retard. I hate people.
all right, just like a just a drunken idiot or something, you would just go, all right, well, look, there's no point in this conversation. Click, hang up. Which is what I've been hung up on quite a few times, and I haven't been drunk. I've been trying to just get a message through on mainstream radio, and
Rolo,
they fucking hang up on me. They
man,
hang up on me.
you're actually fucking very coherent tonight. It's amazing. Not to
Yeah. Well, they
say,
normally call me a jerk off. You're a jerk off. Click.
well, that's the
That's
other
it.
thing.
That's what they do to me.
That's the other thing I would like to say as well now. And I heard the thing, JLB was on one of the hangouts, or not the hangouts, but the audio chats, right? But someone sent an email into Ab, and Ab posted it. And I know Ab has been given out to you for the past 4 years. Yeah. Don't, keep it cool when you're on the thing, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
You you're part of the bloody furniture as far as I'm concerned. And some email out of blue complaining about drunken. I do be listening to you, right? I might be in my car driving along and I'm saying, "Oh Jesus, Rolo's at it again." And you play a song and I just forward the song, right? Because the only reason, Rolo, is because the sound isn't great, right? On
That's
the
fine. Yeah.
music line. But I just want to get to the talk a bit. I want to hear yourself and Typo chatting back because there's a lot of fucking stuff. If people turn off and don't listen to you and fucking Typo talking, they're missing shit. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, you'll enjoy today.
About
Today,
that, right?
Typo and his mate Jim went at it for about 2 hours, and then me, I can't remember his name. The some guy from South Carolina in the United States, and
Oh,
Ab
that's
had to go
uh,
for an hour. Yeah,
that's
so you'll enjoy that.
SMJ, is it? Or
I mean, it could be SMJ. I don't want to
yeah, I
I
can't.
don't want to say, but he's from South Carolina. He's not from North Carolina. I kept saying North Carolina just to piss him off.
It could be worse. It could be, but that's the thing, man. Right? It,
Apparently, he can shoot
no.
a fly off a deer's nose. He's that good a shot. So I don't want to fuck with him because he'd probably shoot me from there over there in the states.
All I
Yeah,
want to say in that
go for it.
statement is to just give my opinion on that. Is that
Sure.
first of all, you, Rolo, and Typo are part of the fucking furniture,
Hmm.
right? And Ab was generous enough to just open up, uh, facilities that you could just go in and turn on the radio and fucking talk
Sure.
and
Yep.
play a tune or whatever. No one else is
Absolutely.
doing it. Who are these fuckers complaining and whinging? Well, I know
I
JLB.
know Tybo doesn't like it, but he is definitely my favorite fakeologist.
Yeah,
And even though me and him said fuck off to one another today, but no,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's he's a
That's
he's an absolute legend, and so are you, Dell. So are you.
going to be like listening to fucking parents divorcing if you two are going to be
No,
going
no, 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 no. We did it in a nice way. A nice way.
right good. But the thing is, that's all I'm saying is that someone sends an email in fucking off you and typo error where you're you're part of the bloody furniture before
Sure.
all these other Johnny come latelys. You know what I mean? So fucking make a stand on that
Yeah.
one.
Well,
I
you're
know
right. You're right, Dell.
Ab is fucking lax and laid
You
back.
can't just make friends. You can't just make friends overnight. You have to build a foundation on a friendship. Yeah, you're right.
You have to at least
Like,
tell them the feck
yeah,
off 9 times out of 11, and fast forward all their musical crap when they decide to
yeah,
play it in
that's it.
nonsense. I know I'm joking, man, but you know what I mean.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's
I,
fuck.
I, I actually like the song that John LeBon requested the other day as Shit's Fucked. Maybe you should play that now. Shit's Fucked by
I wouldn't. I
John.
wouldn't play. I listened to that. I didn't like it, man. And you know something?
All right, fair enough.
I didn't like it, and do you know why? It's
Negative? It's a bit
It's
negative.
one. It's no. It's one little bit of erosion too far, as far as I'm concerned. We've seen the the erosion of our culture already, and now
Okay.
if we got to listen to songs just going shit's fucked, well, you might as well just text it to me. Send me a text.
Yeah.
Shit's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll send you back one. Yeah, okay. That's shit's fucked.
Do you know they got 1.7 million views or something
Yeah,
on
and I
YouTube or
and I
something?
bet you they have super chat enabled, and they probably have a nice little kerching off it all, which is another. No, we're back right back to fucking the beginning again.
Yeah, it was a catchy little jingle, but it's nothing like Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is obviously, in my view, I would say without. I mean, Rush is close. Rush is a band, the Canadian band, but
I
Pink Floyd, I'd say without a doubt, is my favorite band, one
There is
hundred percent.
unrest in the forest. There is trouble with the trees. The maples want more sunlight, and the oaks ignore their pleas. Dun, 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 dun,
You're
dun, dun,
a
dun.
good man.
That's
And you
like
know, my third favorite band would be AC/DC. You know why? Because I just love hard rock.
I saw ACDC live once. They played over here in Ireland, man.
Yeah,
Uh, oh,
good luck to you.
across the road.
With who was fronting at the time? Brian Johnson or was it before he choked?
It was in
Uh,
1980.
oh yeah, so really Brian, yeah, not Bon Scott.
No,
Yeah.
Uh, well, man, try to get me to remember now. I'm trying to remember. All I remember is the other fecker with his shorts. He
Oh
was
yeah, Angus Young. Angus Young.
Angus
Yeah.
Young was there, and it was. Do you know who else played that day? Um, Tin Lizzy, and it was that
Oh,
was
Thin Lizzy before
Norman.
he died
Yeah,
young too. Yeah, right. Yeah, Mothers of Invention guy.
yeah, and he was dead not too long after that. Well, retired to the island or whatever, but he was gone off the scene. Uh, what's his name?
Bon
Uh,
Scott.
no, the Tin Lizzy.
Oh, heroin. Was it heroin that finished him off? I can't remember.
He it
What?
was even he was no. Remember, he married into your one that was a famous. Her father was a famous BBC, so he was. You could
Oh, David Frost.
in plugged into the whole network, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Uh,
I don't have the internet on here, so I can't actually look this up. You know, people you can hear them tapping away, and they try to make themselves sound smart.
well, all
I,
all they'll hear is my brain ticking over, and I can't. I'm doing my best,
oh,
and I can't remember even your man's name. I can see his face. It, they even had a
yeah.
statue in Dublin. Someone fucking robbed it. That was all a psyop as well. But uh,
Wow.
he was an Irish guy, but he's black. Remember him? The curly hair, Tin Lizzy, live and dangerous. Um,
Live and dangerous.
I
Why,
can't.
why don't you play a bit of it now? I'd
Yeah,
like to hear it.
I could squint
Can you
actually.
find it?
I could
Yeah.
squint on
Crack that out because I'm going to go and have I'm going to go and roll a little joint
right.
and have a spliff. Yeah.
Well, at least you're mellowed out. At least you're not snorting cocaine like you were over the
No,
past.
well, if I had it in the house, in the tree house, I would be. I
Well,
don't have any. I don't have any ecstasy. I don't have any coke, but
I,
I've
I
got a little bit of weed. So I might go and have a reefer.
if I ever find
And
myself over in Australia, I'd pop into your tree house if
yeah, look me up.
and we'd have a smoke a nice joint and have a
A
few
whale of a time.
drinks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would buy well, I've got some really really good old whiskey. Do you like drinking whiskey? Like
Excellent.
Scotch.
Well,
Scotch, really good.
bring the scotch. I'll bring over some mead,
Yeah,
homemade mead, and
yeah.
I'll also get a bottle of Irish whiskey in the airport.
You betcha. We'd have a whale of a time. We'd have a whale of a time. And you don't mind that I slept with a bloke once. I think John LeBon's got an issue. Just because I slept with a bloke once doesn't make me homosexual or no,
You're
he's a great guy.
I'll just stand with me back to the wall, and we'll
You're right, man. I won't try and jump on your bones if you're passed out in a pool of vomit. You know what I'd probably do? I
uh,
would put you in the whatever position to make sure you don't choke on your own vomit because we have lost
yeah, it's called
people that have when Bon Scott died, like he was one of the he was such a great talent, and to lose him so young is just a tragedy, isn't it?
do you,
Not to say anything about Brian Johnson, but God, Bon Scott was
do you
he
think they
was
died, or do you think they are away on the island and the rest of us have to worry about
I
them?
want to think. I want to think that he's away on the isle
Like, no,
because the other day we were talking about Chris Cornell, weren't we? Chris
yeah,
from Soundgarden. Yeah, yeah, you're right, man.
yeah. I just want to find a bit of oh fucking hell, Tin Lizzy.
Yeah, yeah. Let me introduce it. What tune are you gonna play? What track?
Yeah, if I can actually line it up now, I'd be doing well.
Yeah, I
And
look forward to listening back to this because I'm actually having a few drinks as we speak.
oh yeah, I keep drinking, man. You're grand.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I'm not drunk. But yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, part of the furniture. I like the way you say that. That I'm part of the furniture. Yeah.
you you go back. to the beginning of Fakeologist, right? And Ab never cut anything out. If I had a penny for every time I heard you say, "Oh, I will probably cut this out, mate," but we'll continue on. You know,
He never did. He never did.
the very fact that I'm able to say that to you is that I didn't cut anything out because it was all out on Fakeologist, so they're all
You're
MP3.
right.
I heard them all,
And yeah,
and you know, all of a
that
sudden,
should give people confidence
yeah,
that if they're nervous about coming to fakeologist.com to talk on the audio chat, that you be sure about what you're saying, because if you say something, it's not going to get cut. It'll all get played. Ab doesn't cut. Doesn't
exactly.
do any editing. It's just straight out. Yeah.
So anybody that's coming in going, ooh, disgusted from Norwich, I have a disdain for Rolo and typo error being drunk and blah blah blah. No, where's your fucking audio chat appearance? Um, stop being an ass, right?
Yeah.
And then the only one
Exactly.
who comes in is, and you keep, promoting him and whatever. John LeBon, he's going, yo, blah 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 blah, right? Well, he'll always give you, eh, a logical, explanation for everything, but
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a fucking, a reality explanation is that Rolo and Typo are part of Fakeologist, and they always have been. And they've been there long before any Johnny Le Bons or Johnny Come Latelys. And
Right.
put that in
So
your,
if you got an issue with him too, because my wife doesn't like him.
well,
But you've got an issue with him. What's your issue with him? Would you think he's too young, or because he's got a paywall on his site? What's your problem with him?
well,
I like the guy.
which do you want to talk about, man? It's not because he's too young. It's, it's oh, fucking hell, man. He's
Go
just,
for it.
he's too bloody cocky for starters. He's just, he's a nice guy, and then all of a sudden he goes into, you know calling everybody retards as well. That's not good. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I've got children that are fucking older than him, right?
Yeah.
He's a very intelligent guy. He's got that thing going, but at the same time, he, you know,
Mm.
here's one for you, right? If you were a pilot of an Airbus, right? And I know you're not, and I know I'm not.
Okay.
But I have seen a video of probably the only one on YouTube who is a pilot, and he actually films his, takeoffs and landings and flying. And
Sure.
he's from Mexico, right?
Right.
Noe Castillo is his name, right?
Can
But
you
here's the
can you
thing.
can you cue that track up, because like seriously, I need to
I
go to the
will.
bathroom.
Yeah, but just before you go,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you're
So
flying.
yeah, he's
You're, look,
filming. Yeah.
you're looking at this guy's video, and he basically just has his camera sticking out on the side of the window. You're not like looking straight ahead, but you can
Okay.
see from the side of the plane where you're coming in. It's a better view from if you're just looking out the window on a plane, right? So you're up in the cockpit and you're looking at it, and you can see the clouds getting out of the way, and you can see, the like where I would say the little buildings and little ants going round. The cars are like little ants, right? That's 1,000 feet, because you hear the voice in the air, the plane, the robot. It goes 1,000,
Okay.
and then it's going down and it goes
Yeah.
500.
The altitude. Yeah, it's going up.
Right,
Yep.
the
Yep. Yep.
altitude dude, right? But there's an
Yeah.
altitude dude, and this only is in Airbuses. It's not in fucking Boeing planes. But this is the weird one, right? In the Boeing planes, it just goes dan 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 dan, right? You just hear this weird noise when you're
Sure.
landing. This other one, 1,000, right? 500. Then it goes 100, 100 top. Then it just goes 50, 40, 30, and the plane's landing and
Yeah.
retard, retard, retard.
And then that's when you feel the bumps. Yeah.
Like you're a fucking pilot and you're landed, and instead of like you're getting
You hear the word retard.
talked down nice, next minute you're being called a retard
That's hilarious.
because you're an Airbus pilot, But the
Yeah.
other ones, the Boeings, right? The same fucking thing, 20, 30, 10. Then all
Yeah.
you hear is this
Do you
beat.
do you know that Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer of Iron Maiden, is actually a 747? He flies British Airways from Australia
Wow.
to United
Here we
Kingdom. How cool is that?
Well, this is good. Down, 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 boom, 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 boom. Bow, bow, down, down, down. We got a 747 going into the night. Down, down,
Are
down.
you playing? Are you playing a tune now, or are we still on air?
So you go to the jacks, and I'm going to find a tune.
All right, man. I'll be back in. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, work
Cheers,
away.
brother. See
All
ya.
right.
You mean the button? Goodbye. Oh, yes. This ain't au revoir, it's goodbye.